Is this girl just fucking stupid? Look at her.
Maybe she can't control herself.
That's why people need tourists. It's just like, then when she gets run over, they're going to be saying, we don't know what happened.
Oh my God.
Come on, girl. Come on. My dog is afraid of docks. We're not even on a dock. We're on a pier. It's... Coco, come on. Come on, girl. There she goes. She's leaving a tattoo. Come on. Come on. You got it. You got this, girl. Come on. I forgot my book, but that's something. That's something. Maybe clams. This is my oyster sniffing doggy. She can find anything. Razor clams, oysters, gooey duck. She's amazing. The mighty oyster hunter is on patrol. I don't see anything, which is weird. This is a very oyster-rich beach because there is an oyster farm right there somewhere. These shoes are my bedrock sandals. I've been wearing them for about a decade. I think I was one of the first people to find these things. I love them. I've gone through every flavor and I've loved them all, but these new, I think they're called Evo C's, are so squishy and so wonderful and so comfy. Just absolutely game changer. I live in these things for half the year. Well, something good lurks down here. I don't know, maybe those are manillas? Who knows? But no oysters today. Maybe I'll come back in the morning and see if I can film a giant octopus hunting along the shore. They're always here in the mornings. Oh, the water's cold. It feels nice. If I was naked, I would dive in and swim, but I got a long walk home around the point, and I don't want to be wet. No oysters. Maybe the tourists came and cleaned the beach off. It's entirely possible. There's usually a ton here. I've mapped out all the islands, all the water sources, everything, and I've got a family, probably of thousands of gooey duck. In an emergency, it's protein. I'm not a fan of gooey duck by any means. But if you're hungry, you're hungry. Oh, this is so nice. It's May 1st, I believe. Babe, is it May 1st? Oh, it's warm over here. Okay, there's going to be an oyster. Right? There's nothing. Nothing at all. There's lots of signs of life. When I lived on the res, I taught the Indians how to shoot archery, and they taught me how to hunt dungeons, which I don't think I can share here because I don't think I'm allowed to do that. I could with them, but I don't think I can do it by myself. But it's a good knowledge to have. It's surprising how little wildlife we have here in these islands. When you head up a bit north, there's just crabs everywhere. There's more oysters than I've ever seen in my entire life, 3 feet thick. Everything there is 3 inches. They're just perfect. No matter where you go, you could just live off the land for an eternity up there. There's so much good stuff to eat. I miss the boat. I miss sailing. I still can't go on the water, but maybe someday, maybe next year, who knows? Maybe I just need a bigger boat. It has 34, which I've had my eyeballs on for a while. It's a good dream to have. Not that there's anything wrong with the 28. She's perfect. I just like real estate these days. Did you pee over here? No. It is so warm. I've got a warm spot. This is where we live now. It's not overly exciting, but the rent is right. These islands squatting is still $2,500 a month. They just come down and tax you every morning you wake up and there's a ticket stapled to your forehead. Is she digging oysters? Coco, find me some oysters. We're hungry. Get us dinner. I had never heard of these islands somehow. And years ago, I was living in my van and headed to Alaska to build a log cabin in the woods. It was probably, God, I don't know, August or maybe July when I arrived in this area. I stopped in Bellingham to get a tank of gas, accidentally bought a sailboat, and I've been here ever since. And I still didn't know about these islands. And I ended up living on Lemmy Island. I also lived on the reservation there, but I lived on the island. I always looked out over the islands. I was living up in Lego Bay. And I'm like, what's out there? And then I got a job as a yacht broker. And my very first day at work, everyone there was kind of having a panic. I'm like, what's the problem? And they had a sailboat breakdown in Friday Harbor. And it's like, if you can get me there, I'll sail at home. They're like, no, the engine's out. I'm like, right. If you can get me there, I'll sail at home. And 30 minutes later, I was on a plane flying low level across the San Juan Islands, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was, without a doubt, the most beautiful sight I'd ever seen in my life. I was hooked, and I got down to the boat, stopped, got a latte in the way, and I remember when I got off the plane, like, where do I go? Just walk towards the water, you'll find it, this place is small. I found the boat, and we all had a big breakfast. I begged the charter clients to come with me, but they're a little stressed not having an engine. So after breakfast, we cleaned up and they split. And I don't know, Harbor Patrol, somebody towed me out and let me loose. I had a full-size chart book and a full-size chart plotter. I was lost for the first 2 hours. Everything looked the same. I didn't believe my compass. I was like, it can't be this way. And I was new to this region. No one had taught me about the insane tides here. All the water was so deep. I was looking at my depth sounder, trying to navigate by depth. I'm like, this is just not working. And I just kept heading west, or east, east. Every time I saw a boat, I'd ask for directions, and they'd point me. And about the time I got to Obstruction Pass, it all kind of clicked in, and then just had an absolute rip and sail through up into Bellingham Bay, and down the bay is probably blowing a solid 20, a big old Beneteau, and just went screaming down the bay. And then the owner tried to tow us in. And I remember I used to work for Vessel Assist, and I was trying to teach him how to tow a boat and how to side tie and how to get in. He would not listen to me. And it was just hilarious going in, and the wind probably picked up to 25, and the boat's spinning in circles, and he's on the chase boat pulling my bow this way and that way. I remember we like spin in circles past the harbor dock, and people were just looking at us at the fuel dock. And I look up, I'm like, they didn't teach me this in sailing school. And I just thought it was the funniest experience ever. Everyone was panicking, and I was just chilling on the boat, doing the best I could, and we ended up putting it in a different slip because we were never going to get into our home slip, and left it for the night. And the wind died down in the morning, and I went down and I showed him how to properly side tie off the stern, and we backed it out, took it home, and put it in the slip. And that's how I started living in this area. And I have never left for long. I leave in the winter, so I'm always back by spring. And I think I mentioned today is May 8th. This is my favorite day to start my northern voyage. Heading up, it's the first day where the days are long and they're warm and the weather's perfect. It's reasonably calm. We don't have, like April, the winds can be insane. But by May, it just kind of chills out. Maybe once every 10 days, it gets grouchy. And the rest of the time, it's just beautiful. And once you get north into the Gulf Islands, everything changes. You're now in an inland sea. Temperatures go up at least 20 degrees. It literally crossing an invisible barrier that's, I'm 10 miles from Canada right now. As soon as you pull into Pender Harbor, and you can go up to the end of Pender and hitchhike into town, get some fresh veggies and food. Not allowed to bring anything over. They make you dump it at customs. I always try and get there super early in the morning. There's no one there. You just call on the phone and, oh, what do we have here? Nice little school of something. I really want to put my phone underwater, but Kimchi's going to kill me. Oh. Something big is going to be chasing these things. Oh. Okay, that was exciting. Ooh. Not a single dang oyster. Looks like Coco's on the gooey dock. Get it, girl. Get us dinner. She sniff them out and dig them out. She always smells like, is she eating it?
She caught something.
What'd you get, girl? What'd you get? Is that an oyster?
No, I think it was just a pebble.
It's an oyster right there. So there is my dog. No, that's a dead oyster. Our first oyster shell. Well, actually, there's 2 bags up there on the beach. From the oyster farm is right here at low tide. You can walk out to it. I don't know if these washed up. I don't really like touching people's stuff, but they're dead. Whatever's in those 2 bags are dead. They've been out there for at least 3 days, I'm sure. So these are the oyster bags. One of the first jobs I had when I was coming through before I got up to Bellingham, I was living on the beach at Taylor Farms and working on their broodstock oysters. And so these are oyster bags. I don't know why these are so high or why they're here, but I'm not screwing with them. I thought they'd be dead, but they're not. They're all still alive. Well, that one's dead. Most of them are still alive. And then there's farms out here, right out there. I worked as a gooey duck farmer and we were planting the baby seeds. It was a lot of fun. You get out there in the Hood Canal and the tide comes in so fast. As soon as you feel it coming in, you almost have to sprint for the beach. It's hundreds of yards and the flood just comes in and almost takes you away. Whoa. Double vision on logs, not good. So from our trail to a dirt road, I find the best way to find nettles is to just run through the bushes in your shorts and they'll find you. And then you don't have to wear gloves when you harvest them. You can just roll them up in your hands and it'll take the stinging off, although gloves make it easy, but it's not as bad as you think and you get used to it pretty easily. And we're right on top of our little beach. We live on a Lemmy burial ground. Lots of ghosts around here of all kinds. Pretty special. And then do you want to take the long road or the short road?
Long road.
So this is the short road that leads home. All roads lead home. It's through the hills. And then we have the long road and there's a couple houses on this road, not many. I think most of them are vacation rentals. So they probably come out 1 or 2 weeks a year. And then they just said it's pretty quiet around here in the winter. Some beautiful madrones. This house is haunted. I don't want to show it. I don't even like to look at it. It creeps me out. Can you eat ferns? Little fiddleheads? I don't think you can. I need my book. And of course, in the wild, a blue San Juan dumpster. And that is the other beach. We've come full circle at the end of this road. And we are right up on the hill over the water, tussled in the madrones. And when the wind whips through here and the winter storms hit, it's just a wonderful place to be. And try and always stay on these dirt roads on the bike when I can. They're very nice for cycling, very flat. I've never seen them grate these roads, but they're in amazing condition.